know that tendonitis is a anatomy issue. It's like that long tendon, right? That long tendon goes to the thumb, and it passes through this compartment. It goes down, it originates down here in the middle of the forearm, and it's due to heavy or repetitive thumb gripping with ulnar deviation that puts a huge stress on that tendon, right? So we know that anatomy, we know, well, the cause of it. So sometimes people get it because something hit them, and then all of a sudden they got swelling there and they developed the tendonitis through an accident, right? And then sometimes it's just nothing happened. I was doing some heavy lifting, and one of my clients, she is a lifter. She does weight training. So she's like, every time I do this and every time I do my whatever snatches and stuff, you know, I started to notice my wrist was hurting, and then she developed some swelling there. But the cause, nothing hit it, nothing is broken, all of this is intact, so I don't have any precautions. My only precautions is to not irritate the shit out of it some more, so then there's more swelling, right? So what do I do determines that. Believe it or not, so many wrist issues stem from shoulder problems, and you can work a lot of shoulder, whether it be, and she was tight in the shoulder, but a lot of times you can also work extension because it pulls and it stretches everything there too. So that can help you determine what you can do, right? What do you do with tendonitis? You reduce the pain. And how do you reduce the pain? You reduce the pain by getting everything to move better. You reduce the pain by reducing the swelling, the inflammation that's deep inside. And you have to explain to people that the tendonitis, the pain there is not the same as like if you broke a bone and you have tons of swelling, right? The swelling is minute underneath that's causing a lot of friction in an area that doesn't have a lot of space, right? So that's usually how I explain it. And then there's an imbalance. If something is like pulling too much or not pulling enough, right? And so what I can do there is I can get pain-free motion. So I can work into a more pain-free motion. But a lot of times in the wrist, I don't just focus just on the wrist to get it. Because if that's already irritated, so my thing, if it's already irritated, why am I going to keep doing things that potentially could irritate it more? So I do have a tendency to go into the elbow and into the shoulder and promote motion there that will pull everything, that will pull, you know, and stretch everything out, right? But you know, whatever you do choose to do, it won't be wrong if you know that nothing is broken and you can actually do whatever it is that you like to do, whether it be hands-on, manual, whether it be exercise-based, whether it be taping-based, or, you know, you're just throwing everything at them, right? So that's that. Now the ulnar part is the hardest part because of the ECU and the FCU, the ulnaris muscles, are on the side, and they're actually kind of hard to find, but they tend to, especially the flexor ulnaris. If you find your pisiform, which is right here, right, you can put your thumb right at the, like you come all the way down your pinky right at that base, you'll feel a little knob, a little pea size, and you push it from side to side. So you're gonna push it towards your thumb, and you can bring your wrist into ulnar deviation. So you're going in the opposite direction. That is where your FCU is. That is where, so if they have wrist pain, if you go to that spot, they could potentially be like, oh, that hurts. Okay, then you might have something going on there. So if you find that spot, you can work and inch your way all the way down along the ulna, and that is where the FCU muscle is. That's how you can find it. Normally my nails aren't so long, so I can really kind of go in without scratching people. But yeah, they'll be kind of painful here, and you can come all the way, and it's very, very ulnar, right? And then the ECU the ECU passes right here, right around that ulnar styloid. So if you have people who are clicking, that might be their ECU just rolling around, because it kind of rolls around the ulna styloid, right? Now, I'm just talking strictly tendonitis, right? But we all know that people with problems with supination and pronation due to an accident, due to fractures and whatever, will tend to have ulnar-sided pain.